stream and see if we have sound, because sometimes there's a bug in OBS and sometimes the sound doesn't work, so I got to keep talking to make sure. And we have sound. Excellent. All right, Dementia Radio now, and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have Mikey Mason in the house!
Yay!
Mikey Mason! I never heard back from David W. Jacobsen, so I don't think he'll be joining us this evening, but I did send him the invite.
I am David W. Jacobsen as well.
Okay, so we'll just
Sure.
interview you for both songs. That'll work.
It's a pseudonym. So
Yeah.
I get more music. I don't know. I haven't heard the song, so I'm not going to take credit for it.
Welcome to episode 743 of the Funny Music Podcast for September 12th, 2024. The title of this week's episode is Grubby Roll, and your job is to work that into our conversation somehow. Dun dun dun. All right, let's do this stupid thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke failed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, first of all, Hubert, my cat, decided to wait until just now to take a big old dump in the litter box right there so that I can smell it, now that the show is starting.
Yay!
Thanks, Blighty. And then I walked back over there by his food. There's another litter box right over there! Anyway. What have I been doing the past week? I saw Beetlejuice, and I liked it, so yay.
I still need to go see that.
What else? It has been, like, temperatures, like, between, like, 100 and 108 out here all week. So that's been kind of nuts. I had plans for quite a while to go with Kalani to Disneyland because on this past Sunday it was a bunch of people organized Tiki Land Day, where basically a bunch of people would all dress up in like tiki type clothes and go to the park and hang out in Adventureland and stuff, and it's just like, all right, fine, another reason to go to Disneyland.
Like you need a reason to go to Disneyland.
Yeah. And so because of the whole Tiki Land thing, before we made the plans, way back when, she asked me, do you happen to own any Hawaiian shirts? And I'm like, I'm a Weird Al Yankovic fan. I own several Hawaiian shirts. So yeah. But yeah, but when we got, like, she was really fretting about what the temperature was going to be, like, the day before. She was checking out, like, the hour-by-hour forecast of how hot it was going to be, and we ended up deciding to get there right when the park opened and be there just for the first couple of hours of it, just so we can have done it and been there for one of the big Tiki Land group photos in Adventureland, so that we could then basically leave, stop at the Lego store at Downtown Disney so that I could pick up a birthday gift for her nephew Max, because his birthday is coming up, and I get a discount if I buy it at the Lego store at Downtown Disney because of my Disney Magic Key Pass thing. So anyway, so got that done, and then just spent the rest of the day hanging out at her place, basically. Just to avoid, being outside in the stupid heat. So I, have basically spent the past 4 days trying to get myself motivated to finish recording the lead vocals for my song, and I've done some passes at it, and it made me realize that I needed to rewrite a handful of the lyrics, particularly in the fourth verse, that just weren't working. They just weren't, you know, they just. I was realizing, like, okay, as the writer, I need to admit to myself, some of this here in the fourth verse is bad writing. I need to fix it, so that I can adequately say these words and get across the point I'm trying to make in a way that makes sense and can fit in with the rhythm of the music. So yeah, and my body clock has just been kind of thrown on a whack because my job has been doing this interesting thing lately, where they'll give me Monday through Thursday off, and then I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's like, okay, normally I'm supposed to work like 4 or 5 days a week, and now they're sometimes scheduling me for only 3 days a week. You know, so it's like, I don't know. I'm trying my best to take advantage of that and get things done. But I don't know. It kind of turns into this cycle of me battling my my ADHD and you know, pathological demand avoidance and all that stuff. It's like, you know, here's the song. We've been trying to get this done for over 3.5 years. Let's just get the thing done. So I'm gonna do my best to force myself to finish it. If not tonight, then tomorrow before I leave for work, because I need to have this thing finished. So that I can move on to other things that need to get done before FuMPFest happens. Not to mention, I have at least one commission lined up with another along the way that I want to get done too. So yeah. So that pretty much sums up what I've been up to. What have you been up to? Oh wait, I also watched that debate thing that everyone's been talking about.
Yeah, I did not watch the debate. I've watched the memes and the clips and stuff that came out of it. That's as far as I go.
See, like I generally have never watched those debates with Mr. Trump in them because I knew they would just anger me.
Yeah.
But this time it was like, oh wait, I want to see him get eviscerated by a person, you know, with a brain and a conscience and some wit and some style, and yeah, I got exactly what I wanted. So good. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So, what I've been doing is elevating procrastination to an art form, and not getting nearly as much stuff done as I should be. But I did do some cool stuff this week. If you remember, a few weeks ago, I announced that I booked my first role through my agent for a new upcoming series. Well, the shoot was this past Monday. So Monday, I had to report to Brooklyn at 8:30 in the morning, and we filmed at a restaurant. I played the restaurant manager. I got to fire the lead character. I got to play a real dick. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. So as soon as that series is available on the platform it's going to be available on, I will let people know how they can watch it. I don't know when it's coming out. I believe they said later this year, possibly early next year, but I'm not sure. But as soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Last night, I had the second of my drugs and alcohol acting class, which was fun. We did 3 scenes. We did one where we were a little drunk, and then we did one where we were a lot drunk, and then we did one where we were on meth. That was fun. And then after that class, we all went out to this place called the Rockaway River Barn, which is this little barn. They have karaoke on Wednesday nights. Restaurant/bar type place, because it was our friend Nicole's birthday. So we wanted to go out and celebrate. So we were out till like 2 a.m. last night, which I haven't done in a long time. So I was tired today. And today I wrote a new scene. One of the other acting classes I'm taking right now is writing directing. So we actually have to write scenes and then we show up and direct them. So my teacher needed another scene for a couple of the other actors. So I volunteered to write one. And the scene I came up with was a job interview where this guy took out an ad in the paper saying he's looking for actors to play in a short promo for a what was it, like a Christian youth organization or something like that. And there was a typo in the ad, and instead of short promo, it said short porno. And he had 3 porn actors show up for the job interview, and hilarity ensues. So I'm pretty happy with that scene. I'll get to find out on Monday how it goes. And tomorrow, I have an honest-to-God job interview. Holy shit, after all this time. My first one. It's fucking stupid that it's taken this long. Because, yeah, for those of you who haven't heard, I've been unemployed since January 4th. So it's been 9 months that I've been unemployed. And I haven't had... This is my first interview. It's for a contract position, but I'll take it. And it may lead to a full-time position later. But so, yeah, wish me luck. That's tomorrow morning. So we'll find... Hopefully I will have a source of income again, because that'll be nice. So, Mikey, what have you been up to?
I just keep picking up additional projects left and right. I'm currently working on it right now. I'm not distracted. I'm listening, but I am... Somebody sent me a friend sent me a random text message asking me if I had a book that was a compilation of all my lyrics anywhere. And I said, no, I don't. The closest is the book I have through Falstaff Press, which is a collection of song lyrics and true stories from my life and from conventions and such, and stand-up comedy. And that has, 20 some odd, 30 some odd song lyrics in it. I think 30 song lyrics. And she said, oh, that's a bummer. And I said, but it doesn't sound too hard to do. And so in the past week, I've learned InDesign and have been laying out and compiling. In the past week, I've learned InDesign. So y'all have been like, no, I'm not, I feel like I'm slack and I'm putting stuff off. Me, I'm like, I need more. I don't know what my problem is. I mean,
don't get me wrong. I'm adding projects to my pile of stuff. I'm starting a whole new goddamn podcast, but I'm still not getting nearly as much done as I should be.
Hey, look at all these Post-it notes. The top one says things to get done by Friday at 3:30 p.m.
Oops. Whoever wrote that note is unrealistic.
Yes.
High in the sky. No, so I'm just working on that. I mentioned the book I put out through Falstaff Press. I've been working on. I have a 4-book deal through Falstaff Press for 4 more books.
Nice.
Urban fantasy, comedy, horror ish. About a monster demon hunter who lives in central Indiana in a trailer park, and he's a white trash monster hunter. It's basically what he is. And,
nice.
Roughly based on my real life, except in my real life, the monsters have always been people. So I've been working on that. New music Monday every week. I'm always putting out. I just finished my big convention season, so I don't have to do that. I'm off until December. I don't have any conventions until December that I know of.
You're not going to crash FuMPFest?
When is FuMPFest?
First weekend in October.
It's possible. Yeah, I'm not saying it's out of the question. If I do I get a time slot?
We'll fit you in. We'll figure something out.
I'll see what I can do. That's outside of Cleveland?
Yeah, it's in Hudson, Ohio, at Con on the Cobb.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
All right.
I'm not ruling it out. It's not on my schedule. But cool. I have room at the top of my Post-it notes, so.
So do I. That's my problem. I have so much room on my to-do list because my to-do list is digital. I use GitHub has a really cool project organization feature, so I just keep adding shit to it. It's just yeah.
So that's what I've been up to.
Right.
Writing, recording, putting stuff out, writing, organizing, learning software.
So you posted a song.
I did.
So give us a quick intro. We will give it a listen.
So this song was originally called Sprinkles. No, Donuts. It was originally called Donuts, but it ended up being called Sprinkles because when I was in college, my brother would literally walk into a strip club, and there were 3 or 4 of them that I went to with him. Where when he walked in, every single dancer in the place knew that he was about to drop $200 to $300 in the strip club, and so he was Mr. Party Time, right? And I just took that. I'm not that. I can't spend that money on strippers, but I could spend that money on donuts. Oh yeah, I have no. So I applied the same logic to I will never be a skinny man, and this is why.
All right, here is Sprinkles by Mikey Mason.
When I walk into a donut shop, it's like my brother walking into a strip club. Everybody's happy to see me. Mr. Party Time has arrived. He'll walk around a club making it rain. I'm walking around a donut shop making it sprinkle. I tell that clerk, make it a bag, not a box. I'm just here for a quickie, a little something to get by. I want to hit her in that apple fritter. Don't be jelly. Actually, you know what? Do be jelly. Put 2 of those. One powdered sugar, 1 iced. Oh, you got different flavors? You got lemon and strawberry and raspberry? Best make it 6. I changed my mind. I'm gonna need a box, not a bag. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Something big enough for multiple long johns, if you know what I mean. Some filled, some unfilled, and 1 of each different frosting, and 1 each with sprinkles on top. I like the texture. Turns out, I'm a completionist, and I'm about to 100% this donut shop experience. I want them glazed, I want them cream-filled, frosted in every color and flavor, sprinkled and sugared, old-fashioned, twisted, and sometimes I just want the holes. But several of each, please. Don't be stingy. Those are great for the car. Let's get international while we're at it. I don't discriminate. Give me your Zeppelis and your beignets, your churros and your crullers. And I mean, if the time is right, I want all of your punchki, Paxki, you know what I mean. Them deliciously dense Polish bad boys that come out in the spring. Oh, yeah. I know I'm fat, but look, there's abs under here somewhere. You know how some people don't like nudie mags? They're all like, it's just sexier to leave something to the imagination. I feel the same way about my abs. I want to leave something to your imagination, baby. So I cover them up with sprinkles.
That whole bit about leaving the abs to your imagination is brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. I got a 6-pack somewhere.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, I don't want to show off. I don't want to like turn on every woman in the place, so I cover my 6-pack abs with sprinkles,
Very demure.
Yeah.
Very modest, very demure.
Oh, that's such a great idea. I wish I thought of that. But I can't think of sprinkles the same way anymore ever since I watched Rothschild's video with him playing J.D. Vance. He plays Vance going into a donut shop and just, he plays him like he's an alien in human skin. And he's like, can I have one of those donuts?
True to form.
Yeah. Can I have one of those donuts that looks like a clown exploded? And the clerk goes, you mean sprinkles? And Vance goes, I don't know the name of the clown. So yeah, now every time I see sprinkles, I just think, oh, there's part of a clown that exploded.
That poor clown.
Didn't they do that on Killer Clowns from Outer Space, actually? When one of them exploded? Or was that just confetti? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
They popped his nose and he spun around and exploded, but I can't remember what he exploded into. Oh, well.
I haven't seen that movie since, high school easy.
Oh, great film. Great film. So what was the inspiration for this?
I write a song a week, and so because my Patreon, and so I'm always playing with new sounds, new songs, new styles, and I had that kind of I wanted to do something spoken word, so I throw something. When you work on a timeline like that, you fake inspiration a lot.
Yeah.
By giving yourself an assignment.
Mm-hmm.
So you give yourself a random assignment. And so I was like, well, it's kind of sexy, why don't I do a food porn song, where I'm, waxing eloquent and perhaps lascivious about food because I'm very passionate about it. And it's hard. Well, it's hard for a lot of people. I'm sure there are some people who can find a way to get offended by that, but thankfully I don't think I know them yet. And but yeah, it was just a bit of fun, a bit of wordplay, almost beat poetry, almost just that spoken word experience. You can almost see a guy in a coffee shop listen to, when I walk into a donut shop, it's like my brother walking into a strip club.
That was the vibe I got from it, was like a beatnik poetry jam type thing. Is that typical music for that type of thing? I've never been.
No, they generally have like a stand-up bass.
Oh, that's right. They do. Yeah.
Yeah. So they like improvisational jazz bass or piano for that. I just wanted something dreamy, and because I knew it was I'm making it sprinkle. I wanted that kind of the harp, the tinkling harp,
Yeah, because it almost sounds like sprinkles coming down.
That was the deal, So.
I think this is the first song I've ever heard about sprinkles. I definitely know there's songs about donuts.
Yeah.
But
I would be surprised if it's the first. I thought I wrote an original rock and country geek zombie love song, and that nobody had done it, but it turned out Toy Boat had written a rock and geek country zombie love song, and mine has strippers. So if they add strippers to theirs, I'm adding meth to mine. We will go with the nuclear option. I will keep raising the stakes. You know what I mean?
Meth zombie strippers. That's a movie I want to see. Forget Killer Clowns. That's a movie. Meth zombie strippers is the movie I want to see.
Well, now hold on. Let me add a Post-it note. Write meth zombie strippers.
You write it. I'll film it. We'll make a fortune.
I bet.
Yeah, it's like the only thing I could even compare to this is like MTV's sketch group, The State, did a sketch called $240 of Vanilla Pudding.
Oh, I love that.
I remember that.
Yes, Levon, shut up and put your ass in that pudding. Oh, yeah. I love that. I love that. I made both my kids watch that. You might be asking yourself, Barry, Levon, where'd you get $240.78 worth of pudding? Shh. Don't you worry your little self about that. Oh, I love those guys. I loved The State so much.
Yeah.
Didn't they do the Ass Pennies sketch?
I don't know if that was them. I remember Porcupine Racetrack was really one I really liked.
And Buzz as bitch. I want to be Buzz as bitch. I'm gonna dip my balls in it.
Yeah. I just love the meta commentary on sketch comedy itself that is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Louis, the guy who comes in and says a sketch phrase over and over again, and then that's all the sketch is. And then they bring it back. It's like they're doing the Last Supper, and now it's Louis at the Last Supper, and it's just like, oh god, this is it's so stupid and pointless.
Not merely a commentary on sketch comedy, but also on comedy in general. I mean, and I'm not going to denigrate Dan Whitney, Larry the Cable Guy, because he made a career out of that one character, and that's absolutely fantastic. But I got tired of hearing "Get Her Done." You know, I got tired.
So did
a
I.
lot.
Yeah.
And my oldest was like, I don't know, 13 and saying it a lot. And I said, all right, Ben, here's the deal. If you can tell me what's funny about Get Her Done, I'll give you $20. But until you can, you have to stop saying it. And he made the deal and stopped saying it. And all he had to do was say to me, there's nothing funny about it. And if he'd have said there's nothing funny about it, I'd have given him $20, because there's not. It's a rallying cry.
Yeah.
There's the funny part is that it's a catchphrase that can be inserted everywhere, and people will join in. And that's, again, not to put Dan Whitney down. What he did was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's just also not necessarily funny, except when you look at it from this bizarre meta context. Why are people screaming "Get Her Done" like it's hilarious? It's not a punchline.
It's it's a rallying cry at his shows. That's all it was, you know.
Yeah.
It's like me going, now I'm in this too. You know?
Yeah.
It's people shouting "Freebird," but with sincerity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever hear? Isn't exactly catchphrasy, but did you ever hear the Patton Oswalt tell the story about the one time he performed at a casino? Like he got this insanely large amount of money to perform at a casino. He never had gotten that much money to do anything ever, and he went to perform it, and I don't want to like do the bit for him, but basically when he showed up, it was like 400 of the drunkest people ever, because it was like all the high rollers and they had been drinking all night. So basically he stepped out on stage, and every drunk person just kind of screamed at him everything they ever saw him in. And then he would just kind of acknowledge, like, it's like, you know, so it was like, King of Queens! And like, he would go like, yes, King of Queens. And they would go, ah! It's like, Ratatouille! Yes, Ratatouille. Ah! And like, that was the entire thing. Like, he basically said he didn't do any material that night. He just spent a half hour having people yell his own career back at him, and then he got this huge paycheck.
All right, so and again, not to put Pauly Shore down, because in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, he was a really tight stand-up comic. And when he travels, he brings really good comics to open for him. He really does. But I'm not sure he has much material of his own that he does at his own shows. I mean, he may have changed that since I was on the road doing stand-up comedy, but I saw a Pauly show, and basically he acknowledges that that's what he does is at his shows. He goes on, he goes, hey, remember when I was in Son-in-Law? Wheeze Louise. I don't know what is. Hey, you want to wheeze the juice? And all of us, yeah, people go crazy. And he goes, yeah, ask me anything. But his openers are super tight, super funny, well-oiled machines. And then he shows up and he doesn't have to say anything, because people are like, Pauly Shore, we remember you from this and this and this. And he literally, that's his, people shout out stuff at him, and he rolls with it and gets paid for it.
It's like his mother owned the Comedy Store.
Yeah, Mitzi, yeah.
Yeah, and he managed to scrape together one album's worth of material, so that's like 45 minutes of material, and he managed to ride that material for his entire career.
and again, I don't know if he still does this, because I haven't seen him in a long time, but at the time I saw him, that's what he was doing. But I remember him in the 90s and being surprised when I revisited it when I was in stand-up comedy, and I listened to that album at how tight his comedy was. And it was like, you know, you think of him as this fluff character or whatever, but he had some great material it just turns out that he was able to write it for.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could write "You Don't Like Firefly" into the sunset.
Have you ever been to Summerfest in Milwaukee?
Yes, not directly,
Okay.
but I've been working Milwaukee in the summer during it.
Okay, well, back during the '90s, they used to have like there's it's mainly a music festival, but they did have a comedy tent, and like so they would have different they would have the local comedy sports improv troupe and some other local comics do stuff during the day, but then in the evening they would get a headliner for every night, and like they would do like an early show and a late show, and I would always try to get out there and maybe just stay there and watch the whole day, or just be there for so I'd see the same comedian perform twice in one day, because that's just how much of the comedy fan I was. I was like, I saw Emo Phillips there. I saw Lewis Black, Paula Poundstone, just great. So this one particular Summerfest, like, it was like one day was Bob Goldthwait and the next day was Pauly Shore. And I saw Bob Goldthwait do both of his shows. And this is the event that, that way back in the day, George Carlin got arrested for doing one of his bits on stage because, like, oh, you're performing in a tent out in public and, people, passers-by can hear you say swear words. And so he got arrested for obscenity and all that, stuff.
Yeah.
So, they basically try to keep things pretty PG-13 there on the stage because of that very reason. And I saw Bob Goldthwait, like, do two amazing shows where he stopped himself from swearing. He was kind of trying to be. I mean, he's a father. He knew he didn't want to be like an intentional jerk or whatever. At one time, he accidentally said "fuck bro," and then he goes "fudge." I said "fudge," and it's and like it was. He made a joke out of it like immediately, and it was fine. It was great. In fact, during the second show, he looked down and he saw me. He's like, "You look pretty sober. Weren't you at the first show?" Anyway, so the next day I show up and Paulie's supposed to be there, and I like go and I sit down in like one of these kind of bench seats, and I get like kind of front row, and then all these like random MTV non-comedy fans all come and they start sitting on the floor in front of us, like in this space, and then Paulie comes out. And then they all stand up. So now it's like I have to stand up in order to even see the show. And they weren't even there about. They're just like, and it was like, and that was basically Paulie didn't even like do material. He was just like thoroughly vulgar, swore the entire time, and then made fun of the parents trying to get their kids out of the comedy tent. It's like. Look at her. She's like, "Come on, little Billy. This isn't like Encino, man." And I just kind of, I don't know. My respect for him went down several notches when I, having just seen Bob Goldthwait be able to follow the rules and kill it for two shows, and then he comes out and he couldn't even be bothered, and whatever. So anyway, I know we're getting like way off the topic of sprinkles here.
It's a sprinkling of comedy.
It's like if when it comes to convictions that have stuff on them, it's like Bob Goldthwait was a donut with sprinkles and Pauly Shore was just a grubby roll.
Nice.
And now my job is done. I can go somewhere.
Way to bring it back around.
Did you do Gen Con this year?
I did Gen Con, I did Dragon Con. I did so many cons, I'm so tired.
I miss Gen Con, but I know if I go back there that it's never going to be the same, man.
Yeah.
That's the truth for everything. It's true about everything, though. Everything changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with the. Oddly enough, I was having a conversation with a bartender today. That says a lot about my life. And while it was daylight out, I was having a conversation with a bartender at the bar, and but they were down the bar. They were talking about people who watch live performances through their phones, basically recording. And I said, man, I realized rather recently, I came to the epiphany that when you're performing for an audience, they are 100% there for them. They're not there for you. Now, how do they enjoy your show? Are they the kind of people who just want to sit there and watch your show and take it in and not be distracted by people talking and not be, it's fine, but they're still there for them. They're there for them and their experience of that show. Are you the kind of people who sit there and talk through the show and you're just there to say you were at the show? Okay, well, they're still there for them. Are you the person who wants to record the show on your phone or just watch the show through your phone? You're still there for, they're there for them. They're not there for you. They're there to post the clips online to say that they were there, or they're there to experience the show in its entirety and say they didn't record anything. No matter what happens, they're there for them. And as soon as you come to grips with that as an artist, then the show becomes, because sometimes, and we talked about how some artists will get, angry and lash out at the audience if they're looking through their phone or if they're on their phone too much or whatever. And the reality is that just ruins the show for the people who are there to watch the show. Not the people being on their phone necessarily, although that does too, but the artist stopping the show to criticize them really detracts from the show for the people who are there to watch the artist rock it out. And not that it's good or anything, but it's that things change and you can't control it. The world changes.
This has been Deep Thoughts with Mikey Mason.
Yeah.
One thing that that comedians do, and it's like, on one hand, I can't blame them, but I wish there was some way I could just... It's like, attention all comedians, stop doing this. It's been done. Stop doing it. When they're in the situation where wherever they're performing, the performance venue has provided a interpreter for the hard of hearing. So there's a person off on the far left or right, and they are sign languaging what's being said in the stand-up act. And then at some point, every comedian, they can't help it, they have to go and point out that there's the sign language interpreter, and then mess with the sign language interpreter who's just there trying to do their job. And sometimes they're fine with it and they join it, but it just, part of me just kind of feels like just stop it. It's been done. I've seen this done a dozen times. Leave that person alone. Get back to your act.
I have worked with sign language interpreters now. I always when I know that they're going to be there, I introduce myself and we talk to each other before I try and I let them know what my act's going to be like. But the fun part isn't trying to mess with them for me. The fun part is knowing what some of my songs say and watching them try to interpret it while I'm doing it in real time and breaking down laughing while I'm watching them try, because I'm not changing a thing, but I am paying attention to see exactly how they're going to say licky licky night. I mean, whatever, because I want to know. And I can't help but be delighted by that. And of course, nobody gets into stand-up comedy because they're healthy and well-adjusted. When you give them that little extra bit of power, man.
All right. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
My Patreon, obviously, Mikey Mason, or patreon.com/Mikey Mason. For as little as $1 a month, you can get new music every month. For $5 a month, you get new music every week. Yes, the prices went up. Everything goes up. But that's still a great deal for, actually, I average 67 songs a year. So for 67 songs a year, that's a great deal. It still boils down to like $12 an album or ish. So anyway, patreon.com/Mikey Mason. Do that. All my stuff is pay what you want on Bandcamp because I believe that the music needs to be heard, and people who are going to take care of you are the ones who are going to take care of you. I firmly believe that. And buy my book, Confessions of the Geek Bard, from Falstaff Books, and look out for the other books. I'm working on a compilation of lyrics, a collection of lyrics from 2011 to 2024. That should be hopefully out in the next few months.
Awesome. Looking forward to all of that. All right. Are you going to stick around for the rest of the show, or are you taking off?
I'm going to finish. I'm actually converting images to grayscale for the inside, but you have to correct the levels on them, or otherwise it won't look good in black and white. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Sprinkles.
Sprinkles.
Sprinkles, baby.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
This is the FuMP.
Sneeze on you. Seat 49. I don't think you understood.
I thought bagels always brought me joy, but now I play with them just like a doggy play toy. I made it with the bagel and cream cheese cause I was feeling hot. So hot, so hot, so hot. Ooh, hot, hot, hot.
Belly, I kiss your nose, but every freaking night you freaking bite my freaking toes.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Crack a whip it. Fill up a balloon. Breathing the gas. That's what I'm doing. Foink.
Time for funny music news. Something, something, something.
In the news, the Arrogant Worms IndieGogo is up to $11,177, which is 75% of the way towards their goal, so they are inching towards success. There's still time to get involved. Go to Indiegogo.com and search for the Arrogant Worms to help support their new album. FuMPFest is coming up October 3rd through 6th, 2024, as part of Con on the Cob in Hudson, Ohio. For information, go to FuMPFest.com. We are now taking orders for the t-shirt, which I'm putting on screen now.
I just ordered one.
Yay! Showing the COG taking over FuMPFest, making it COGFest. Yes, please pre-order your t-shirts so we know how many to make. I made too many last year, so I'm not going to be making as many this year. Performers besides the Consortium of Genius, we have 2D6, Carla Ulbrich, Holy Bongwater, Pastor Haster, Ross Childs, and Steve Goody, plus the Logan Awards, a live edition of Escape from the Secret Lab, dumb parody ideas, and more. Go to FuMPFest.com for more information, FuMPFest.com. All right, Luke, you got anything before tour dates?
This is not funny music news, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is a kind of an unboxing. Back at San Diego Comic-Con, an awesome artist friend of mine named Brianna Cherry Garcia, I commissioned her to do a drawing of my characters, Deanne and Darius, and I basically gave her some printouts of some images of them. And, you know, normally when she does that kind of commission, she finishes it up by the end of the weekend and gives it to the person. And I basically told her, you know, if she wants to, because she's a friend of mine, if she wants to take this home and work on it whenever, so that it didn't get in the way of her other commissions, that was fine. Because I know this was like, probably takes her a lot longer to draw somebody's original characters than to draw somebody that she already is super familiar with. So anyway, I just finally got the piece of art in the mail today. She had already sent me an image of it, but it is aw. See, look at how cute they are. Aw. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit closer. Is it cute? So I'm very happy to have this to put on to frame and put on my wall to replace other art I've had her done that is no longer on my wall. So so yeah. So again, her name is Brianna Garcia. I'll look up her links and I'll say them before the end of the show.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, it looks really cool. I didn't want to talk because I didn't want it to cut to me while you were showing the thing. So
yeah. All
right. Tour dates. On Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Hang on. Mondays and Tuesdays online, Bill Larkin. On the 13th in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. The 13th and 14th in Alameda, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 13th through the 15th in Nashville, Tennessee, Bonnie Gordon. On the 14th in Summit, New Jersey, Carla Ulbrich. On the 15th on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab, featuring the Consortium of Genius. On the 19th in Martinez, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 20th online, Carla Ulbrich. The 21st in Las Vegas, Nevada, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. And on the 23rd on Zoom, the virtual comedy show featuring Carla Ulbrich. All right. And speaking of Carla Ulbrich, today is Carla's birthday. So happy birthday, Carla.
Hey! Any other birthdays?
That's it. That's it for birthdays.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, just looked up, and Brianna Cherry Garcia is on Instagram with that all spelled out. It's Brianna for Brianna, and then Cherry, and then Garcia, just how you'd expect to spell them. That's her handle on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And on Twitter, it's just Brianna Cherry. So, yeah, and her and her partner are also cosplayers, and they do awesome stuff. So go follow them everywhere.
Sounds good. All right. Our second song of the week is the new one by David W. Jacobsen. Here is Honest.
I can see that you're angry. I know I must apologize. I see it as some omissions. You see it as lots of lies. That I never meant to hurt you, even though I may have misled. I wasn't really untruthful. There were just a few things left unsaid. It's true I could have been more honest. It's true. Well, there was a spark when we'd mingle, so I never mentioned I wasn't single. It's true. I could have been more honest with you. It's true. I could have been more honest. So how does it really change things? We used to stare in each other's eyes, but now you won't even touch me because of this little surprise. Truth is, I thought you'd realize I didn't think it would be that hard. You never met any of my friends, and I never used a credit card. It's true I could have been more honest. It's true. Lies are a burden when carried. I would have eventually told you I'm married. It's true. I could have been more honest with you. It's true. I could have been more honest. It's true. I should have been more honest with you. It's true. I could have been more honest. It's okay if you have your secrets. Let's be even and just turn the page. I mean, I didn't mention my marriage, but I think you lied about your age. You say that's completely different. You're probably right, but what can I say? Except how about once more for old times? This weekend my wife is away. It's true I could have been more honest. It's true. I didn't want to cause any strife, so I just never mentioned my wife. It's true I could have been more honest. It's true. It hurts when you call me a louse. It would have ruined the mood to have mentioned my spouse. It's true. I could have been more honest with you. It's true. I could have been more honest. It's true. I should have been more honest with you. It's true. I could have been more honest.
All right, David W. Jacobsen can be found online at davidwj.com. And as a reminder, the other song he has posted to the FuMP is Music for the Masses, you know, the one where you sing a song about asses. So, Okay, let's do some feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback. Sunday Funnies wrote. Now, Sunday Funnies is Wacky Ben, so... Don't we have a Wacky Ben intro? Yeah, there it is.
Wacky Ben.
Sunday Funnies wrote, I did a bacon show back in March. Check it out. And then a link to the archive.org entry for the show. So if you're interested in a show about bacon, check that out. And...
Draconis alert. Draconis alert. Draconis alert.
Draconis wrote, this meme hits both host bacon. And it's a picture of Kevin Bacon covered in bacon. So you can check that out on the comments of last week's episode. Over on YouTube... A-Log!
Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, we at A-Log on the Airwaves would like to congratulate those who have been nominated for this year's Logan Awards. May the funniest song win. And in regards to Wolves of Glendale, what are the chances of an act made popular on the Dr. Demento performing at music festivals such as Lollapalooza and Bonnaroo? Seems small, but here's hoping it'll open the door for more funny acts to make these festivals funny. And if by any slim chance this happens, may God have mercy on the souls of Wolves of Glendale if they ever perform at the Reading Music Festival. That crowd gets really rowdy at the newcomers. Watch out for mud and bottles. Thank you, A-Log. And Jason Schneiderman wrote, 1, I had the Makin' It 45 single when I was young, like 6 or 7. And 2, Bacos might have been kosher, but I remember rabbis cautioning against Jews eating them for fear of confusing Gentiles into believing they were breaking the rules. All right, then. All right, that's all the feedback we got.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah.
Teasing. Tomorrow's song is by Steve Goody. And Tuesday's song is by a new artist. All right, need a playlist topic. Any suggestions?
How about fights?
Fights.
Like, fights, fighting, conflict.
Yeah, Rhinoceratops versus Super Puma. Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, I Can Beat Mike Tyson.
I Ran Away by Arrogant Worms.
Oh, that's right.
What'd you do? I ran away.
I can get into wrestling too, so I can do the Crusher, assuming that's
Snoopy
on.
versus the Red Baron.
Snoopy versus the Red Baron.
A Boy Named Sue would fall into that category.
Oh yeah, it would. What about theme to Rocky 13?
Oh yeah, I think that would qualify.
Let's see.
If the WWF Land of 1,000 Dances is out there on Spotify, include that.
Oh, Nun Fight by Paul and Storm. Good call.
Oh yeah.
All right, I think that's 10 actually, so I should be good. If not, I'll find some more. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, Mikey Mason is at MikeyMason.com. David W. Jacobsen is at DavidWJ.com. FuMPFest is at FuMPFest.com. Please pre-order the T-shirts. and pick up your copy of the FuMPFest 2023 compilation. It really helps us out. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and Mikey Mason was here, and he's the one that does the teasing thing.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Shout it to random people on the street. And be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Malcolm solves his problems with a chainsaw, and he never has the same problem twice.